time, the ever-flowing river. Come with us now to a time before man, where the river flows through a newborn world and giants walk the earth. My friends, my dear viewers, welcome to the Jurassic Week Honest Reviews. Should I say welcome to the final Jurassic Week Honest Review? Although, maybe, just maybe, right after I see Dominion, I may give you an honest review on the day I saw the movie. But you never know. You might get it, though. Today, we're reviewing the last Jurassic film before the new one, Jurassic World Dominion, which comes out tomorrow. And I already have my tickets. So, let's get into Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So, 4 years, or 3 years, not 4 years, 3 years after the events of the first Jurassic World, the volcano located on Isla Nublar is erupting. And if that happens, all of the dinosaurs will die. So, Claire Dearing gets together with Owen Grady, as well as 2 other scientists, to try and save the dinosaurs. However, greedy business people want to get their hands on the dinosaurs and sell them for profit, as well as creating another Frankensaur known as the Indoraptor. So, a lot of people really hate this movie. I can see why. But, in my personal opinion, I freaking love it. I'm sorry. The reason why I enjoy it so much is because it is essentially like the Lost World Jurassic Park, where the story is not good and so cheesy, but it's classic B-movie dumb fun action. So of course I'm going to want to talk about it and enjoy it a lot. And that's essentially what I describe to myself how this movie fares. I'd say personally it is better than the first Jurassic World. And I don't put that lightly. So, might as well just talk about the aspects of the movie and, well, express opinions on it. The characters return, and a lot of them are better. Claire Dearing is not irritating anymore. As a matter of fact, she has a lot more great sequences, as well as Owen Grady not being such a, played for, he's just not this strong, idiotic man. He actually has a lot of decent action moments in there. And the writing between the two can get really funny at times. It is pretty funny to see these two interacting. The best moments with Owen have to come with the idea that he was training with the Raptors since they were little. And that whole scene where he's watching his footage of him training the Raptors was really well done, and it is pretty emotional. Then we've got the 2 scientist characters, Zia and Franklin. Franklin is comic relief as he screams really loud and comedically a few times. But B-movie. I laugh at these things in B-movies. They're funny. It's a funny character. It's so over-the-top cheesy. I love it. Zia has some good moments too. And the actress playing her, Daniela Pineda, did a really good job portraying the character. And Jossa Smith did a great job portraying Franklin. Even the screaming. Then we've got the villains. Now, we've got Rafe Spall playing Eli Mills and Toby Jones playing Gunnar Eversole. Yep, these villains get a bad rap because they are pretty much the stereotyped villain of the greedy businessman who wants to sell things for profit and ends a political message. Surprisingly, though, I enjoy watching these villains, and there's a reason why. They're not meant to be taken seriously. They're meant to be stupid. And it's fun to watch these guys get eaten. I know a lot of people talk about Black Widow and how they didn't like Dreykov. I like Dreykov for the same reason I like these two. Because they're not supposed to be taken seriously. They're supposed to be jokes. They're supposed to be jokes and that are like that you just want to see die. They are dino fodder, essentially. It is hilarious. The performances are over the top and cheesy, as you'd expect from a movie like this. They're very similar to, as a matter of fact, the villains in Lost World, where they're so over the top cheesy. Although, unlike Lost World, I actually like the side villains in here. Dr. Henry Wu makes an appearance, and they're still continuing with the villain. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to execute it with Dominion when I see it tomorrow, but a guy can hope and dream. Then, of course, we've got Benjamin Lockwood, played by James Cromwell. I forgot his name for a second. What's wrong with me? And he doesn't do much, but I like how they establish he has history with the original Jurassic Park, as he knew John Hammond when he was younger. And there's even a nod to John Hammond, and they play a little piano tune with the Jurassic Park theme in the background, which is really nice to see. Although I will hope that in Dominion, seeing as how we're getting all the characters back, that there's a nod to John Hammond that's more than just like a tribute. I know Richard Attenborough. I almost said Richard Hammond. What's wrong with me? Richard Attenborough has been gone for a long time now. He died back in 2014, but maybe there is some way there's archival footage or they do one of those CGI. I don't know if they're ever going to bring him back or just pay tribute to him, but a guy can hope and dream. But I'm getting off track. I like what they did with Lockwood and his history with Hammond, and it showcases that these two were close friends. And he even has the Amber cane, not Ember, Amber cane that John Hammond had in the first movie, which is nice. It's a nice reminder. Let's talk about Maisie. She starts off really, really as another kid character that you want to follow. Essentially, all the Jurassic films of kid characters. I'm so surprised about that. She's sort of like the Kelly Malcolm of the group, like the kid who's kind of defiant and wants to explore. But she also has the actress who plays her has a lot of great acting moments in there. Like, her crying felt genuine. Her getting scared felt genuine. Her being happy felt genuine. But it all falls apart in the third act. With, and I wish I was kidding, human cloning existing in the franchise. That is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. See, Jurassic Park as a franchise has dealt with the cloning with the dinosaurs. That's the sci-fi element these movies adopt. They were going to adapt the monster melding, like the mutations with a human and a dinosaur hybrid, which would be fine. But human clones, not my cuppa. Never is, never will be. And the ending suffers because of it. It is so stupid. I said I can tolerate the cheesiness in this movie as well as Lost World, but I cannot tolerate the cheesiness of the human clone idea. It is just the dumbest thing ever in this franchise. And it's really, really hard not to ignore because it is just so dumb. It's so dumb. Oh my god. Look, dinosaurs I can get past. I can also get past the idea of human dinosaur hybrids. I cannot, not in a serious second, get past the idea of human clones. That plot twist is ultimately the biggest thing I hate about this movie. But other than that, the characters are really solid. It's just the human clones. It's just that. And I really wish I wasn't talking about it because it still makes me feel weirded out. And watching it in the theater back when it came out made me feel so weird. So, let's talk about the visual effects. I said in my review for Jurassic World, the first one, that they did not use any practical dinosaur effects except for one dying dinosaur. They rectified that problem. They rectified it. A lot more practical dinosaur effects were used. Specifically the scenes on the boats. You find the people trying to keep Blue alive. That is a animatronic. And the T-Rex is also an animatronic. So I'm glad to see a lot more animatronic work went into that. A lot of the Indoraptors stuff was animatronic as well. Or some of it was animatronic as well, which is really nice to see that we have some more animatronic work. But aside that, the CGI looks great, and the dinosaurs look better than ever in this movie. Obviously, Jurassic World Dominion's probably going to get the CGI edge over the three Jurassic World movies. We will see for ourselves when it comes out tomorrow. I mean, my personal favorite shots in this entire movie is when the T-Rex pins down the Carnotaurus, roars, and you just see the volcano in the background. It's just exploding. It is just one of the best shots ever. It was in the trailers and stuff. It is still one of the best shots in that entire movie. Everybody knows it, even if they haven't seen the movie or watched the trailers. If somebody brings up that, they know exactly what people are talking about. Or they don't. I don't know. I'm not psychic. So, let's talk about the music. Michael Giacchino, yet again, does the score. And, surprise, surprise, he still does a good job. He adapts the original score really well and adds in his own element of action and horror into the movie, which is always a big plus when it comes to movies and they add different tones of music throughout. This one does it particularly well, as did the first one. I just turned on a light. Let me turn it off again, off camera. These movies have always done it particularly well, and I always found it very entertaining. Like, on one hand, you could be having a lot of fun, and then all of a sudden you're scared, or all of a sudden you're sad, or all of a sudden you're very happy, all of a sudden you're very angry. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm being cringy, I know. Point is, music's good. Moving on. Now, the first Jurassic World took a more action movie approach and hardly had any horror scenes. This one rectifies that problem as well. I'm not kidding. I really am not. The first real scene in the movie is a horror opening. There are a total of 3 kills in this movie. All of them are the Mosasaurus, by the way. We've got, of course, the guys in the submarine, and we see the skull, the skeleton of the Indominus Rex, by the way. Didn't know that was still there. The Mosasaurus slowly comes in, its jaw is open, and the lights out. It's terrifying. Then, of course, we got the T-Rex coming out. It's dark, it's stormy, it's at night. What do you think's gonna happen? The guy nearly makes it, but the Mosasaurus just comes in. There are other horror-esque scenes The baryonyx, horror-like scene, especially with that opening with the lava coming in. It is just beautiful. Other horror moments. There's a sad moment I did not point out. One of the original dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, the Brachiosaurus, I think it was. Hold on. Yeah, it's a very sad scene, and I just forgot to bring it up. Sorry. Other horror scenes include when Owen and Claire are trying to retrieve the blood from the T-Rex while the T-Rex is tranked, which is very terrifying and not a situation I'd like to be in. And the scenes of the Indoraptor are also very scary. I mean, the part where Ted Levine's character, Ken Wheatley, tries to take out a tooth, it wakes up and pretty much it bites off his arm, and then Toby Jones's character, Gunnar Eversole, and a bunch of people run into an elevator, but it chases them, and then they get inside the elevator, the door opens, and then you just see them scared, and you hear they cuts to black, and then it's ah. It was effective. It was effective, cheesy but effective. The one I think of most, the shots of horror, is when they're hiding in like the room, the like fossil and just diorama room, and the lights turn on and the monster sees it, and then Maisie, the kid, hides in her bedroom, and the shot I remember most from this entire sequence is the Indoraptor on the roof roaring with into the night sky. It is beautiful, and the scene where it's just slowly poking its head right up to her in the bed, and it's scary, and then no one shows up, and it's just an action movie again. So the movie does a lot of horror, but the action scenes are really, really good. As I said, the T-Rex pinning the Carnotaurus. The final action scene is also really well done. And the T-Rex action scene is also really well done too, because the horror scene turns into an action scene at the end. So, yeah, not a perfect movie, not as good as the first one, but I like it as much as I do Lost World. I can tolerate the cheesiness in this one for the most part, and I do think it is an improvement over the original Jurassic World. I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but it's mine. You get to hear my opinion because it's my YouTube situation. So I'm going to give it the same score I gave Lost World, which is a 9 out of 10. Not perfect, but it's still really well done, and so far the best of the Jurassic World films and the second best in the Jurassic franchise, but maybe Dominion will beat it out, but I highly doubt it because of the critics' ratings. So that's it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts on Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom in the comment section below, and I will see you guys all very soon. Take care. Goodbye.